Who are you and what do you do?
So my name's Stephen Carter. I'm a European patent attorney based in the UK. And after about 25 years in the industry, I founded my own company, the Intellectual Property Works, just over a year ago, basically to do the fun stuff I enjoy doing, which is working with smaller companies to help them with their IP strategy.
What competitive advantage do you have as Stephen, the man, versus Stephen, part of a larger enterprise?
And an element as well, I guess, of taking the 25 years experience I have and packaging it in ways that are more accessible to the smaller companies.
Help me understand the patent landscape. Is it a global concept, or is there a European patent system, a North American patent system? Help me understand.
So patents are geographical things, so there's a lot of commonality between the systems around the world. But if you want protection in a specific geography, you have to seek patent protection in that geography. So if you want patent protection in North America, you file a US patent. If you want patent protection in Europe, you have the option of filing either a European patent or you can file nationally in the European jurisdictions.
What is the impact of Brexit?
So the impact of Brexit on European patents, I'm pleased to say, is nothing. And you may ask why.
Why?
There you go. The reason why is that the European patent is not an EU instrument. So the European patent has nothing to do with the EU. If you get an EU patent, it already gives you the opportunity for protection in many countries that are not EU countries. So when we drop out of the EU, the European patent system is not affected in any way, which is obviously good news for me.
I would say, and for a lot of your prospective companies and companies doing business today, can you tell us something that is somewhat unique to the European patent versus what, as an American, I might be familiar with for a North American patent? Are there nuances that are different that I wouldn't have even thought of that? And that's why I would need to go to someone on the other side of the pond?
There are a number of nuances. A lot of them you find when you start digging down to a more detailed level in terms of the way the examiners treat certain subject matter. So software is an example where there's still quite a lot of differences between the way software is treated in examination at the European Patent Office compared with here. And there's also quite a lot of differences in relation to the freedom you have to make amendments in your patent application. So the way you write patent applications for Europe or to succeed better in Europe can be a little different than it is in the US. And one of the things I do is work with quite a lot of US outside counsel and work with them at the point in time where they're drafting the applications to help make sure that their application is going to work in Europe as well as in the US.
You mentioned software and so much of that being in the cloud, which has no geographic boundary. How does that work? I mean, do you just handle the part that's over here, but when it goes to the other side of the globe, that's a different thing?
It's a good question. And a lot of it is about when you're writing your patent claims, you've got to think about, well, who's going to be infringing those patent claims? And you want to write your claims so that you're catching an actor in a particular country, and hopefully a country where you can enforce your patent successfully. So you want to write your patent claims in a way that kind of nationalize the actions of that person. So if you've got a cloud distributed system, you want to be writing your claims that catch the person that's sat at their terminal or is on their iPhone using that system in the States or in Europe, rather than writing your claims in a way that mean you have to be trying to enforce patents in countries where maybe you can't get protection or you can't easily enforce.
That's a scary little, loophole in a country where you have a prayer, basically.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, I just don't know what a patent infringement in Somalia looks like, but I don't imagine it's be very easy for you to enforce.
I imagine not, no. And I imagine it's pretty...
So don't ask you Somali questions.
Don't ask me Somali questions, no. Most of the jurisdictions, but no.
But if it's in the EU, you're my guy, Stephen Carter.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jeff.